Y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another video. Please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so that my video can get circulated across these YouTube streets. And before I get started, y'all, let me excuse my skin, okay? Because I know I'm looking crazy. I wore makeup 2 days back to back, like a full face of makeup, and this is what happened, okay? Hence the title of this video, Pretty Hurts, okay? Or at least trying to be pretty hurts. So, I'm not gonna be too long, guys. I'm gonna try not to be too long because I gotta get in this kitchen and cook them oxtails, baby. My work husband was texting me right before I hit this start, talking about you still cooking. And fellas, yes, the work husband is real, okay? The work husband is real. Now, mine's just don't happen to like, he batting for the other team. But still, okay, that brother got my back more than any man I've ever dealt with have, okay? He gonna make sure if I'm not at work, are you good? Do you need something? That man will make sure I got something to eat, bring me something to eat, order me food I ain't even asked for, okay? So yes, when I get ready to throw down, I'm finna make some oxtails, I'm gonna make sure I bring my work husband a plate, baby. So the moral of the story is, what you won't do, the work husband will. But okay, guys, I titled this video Pretty Hurts, right? And what inspired this was I get tired of people asking me why I'm single. I really do. People assume that because you look a certain way that your life is supposed to be easy. They assume that because you look a certain way, men are supposed to want to be compatible and act right for you, and that it's just gonna be smooth sailing. That's not how this thing goes, okay? Y'all be on the internet too much, and y'all put too much weight onto this pretty privilege thing, okay? Y'all equate seeing girls who are on Instagram modeling, y'all equate the likes and the lusts and attention that they get with genuine care and concern. And that's just not how this goes. Being pretty helps you with certain things, okay? For example, if I get stopped by the police, I don't care if I was doing double the speed limit in the school zone. 9 times out of 10, I'm not getting a ticket. Not getting. I can't tell you how many times I get stopped and I don't get tickets. Okay, I've had a couple tickets, and this is telling on my driving. But if you knew how much I get stopped, if you knew some things that had went down, I should have just a long, terrible driving history, okay? And that's not just looking good. It's also me being very polite and respectful toward the police when they stop me. But yeah, them looks and me being a woman go a long way, okay? It helps you with things like people will do things for you without you even asking, okay? People will go out of their way for you without you even asking or you even knowing them, okay? It helps with things like this. But when we're talking about a long-term sustainable relationship, being pretty, hear me out, actually does more of a disservice to you than you being an average looking woman, okay? And let's talk about it too, because there's levels to this. There's levels to this, okay? I watched this video of this girl who was talking about how men don't treat her right because they treat the plain Jane. Like, men would rather have a plain Jane than the women who get themselves together and I guess put on, get their hair done and their makeup done and their nails done. And I'm looking at the girl while she's talking, and I didn't think she was unattractive, but you could clearly tell that she needed all those things. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? It's like the plain Jane girl that you think that you're better than might not have needed all those things. Okay? She might still look better than you and not have on no makeup. Okay, she just got a fitter body because she prioritizes eating better food than you do. Okay, she may not have on a 20-30 inch wig, but she has real hair. Okay, so it's different levels to this, and I guess let me say this: the more universally attractive that you are, meaning you could go into any setting, like you could go into any group of men, okay, and even men. I feel like it's hard for men who are attractive dating. You could go around any group of people, regardless of their race, and compete amongst them. Okay, if you're a woman, you can go amongst any race of women and compete for her group of men amongst her and their standard of beauty. You are still competitive. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, only thing you might have to change is the style of dress that you're wearing. Okay, or the style of maybe the way you style your hair or the length of your nails, for example. I was talking about this in a video. And you can still be competitive. Okay, if you have to go, everybody's talking about this level up. If you have to do too much to level up, meaning you have to wear a full face, wigs, and get a whole bunch of plastic surgery to be competitive, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you, because the same rules don't apply, because people are already looking at you as insecure. I hate to say it that way, but people can smell the insecurity on you before you even open up your mouth or do anything. Okay, unless a man is extremely unattractive, people don't have the same desire to try to humble you. Okay, and that gets to my point. When you are attractive, when you are universally attractive, people, even other attractive people, want to humble you. Okay, and they assume that you are arrogant. Okay, and let me just say this: for a long time, cause I just kind of categorized this and let y'all know exactly what I was talking about. That might have seemed arrogant of me, but let me be truthful. For a long time, I didn't think I was an attractive person, and let me tell you why. I grew up extremely poor in a Black and Hispanic community. Okay, and I grew up only with my Black side of the family. If you are Black and from the hood, status is everything. It wasn't the very beautiful girl or girls who y'all think was pretty or beautiful that got the most attention. It was the girls who had on the brand new J's. Okay, the girls who always had on the newest hairstyles as soon as they was coming out, the genie ponytails, the 27 piece, the longest eyelashes. Even if we go back to elementary school, the girls whose mothers kept them in name brand, the girls who had a relaxer on their hair. Okay, these were the girls who, regardless of what they really looked like, they got the most attention and admiration from the boys. No different than the men who have the cars and the clothes getting the most attention from the attractive girls. It was a popularity thing. Okay, I remember my mom eventually ended up putting a relaxer on my hair because she was tired of doing my hair, and also because the kids at school made fun of me. Okay, they all had straight hair and relaxers, and I had this, and I would get called nappy headed. Imagine that. Okay, see, people make a lot of assumptions. They assume that because you're light skinned, you grew up with privilege, and that your hair and how you look like was already always acceptable, but that wasn't the case. Okay, the Black kids was calling me nappy headed. Okay, so I did not always consider myself the standard of beauty, nor was I treated like the standard of beauty, because for a long time, this look was not the standard of beauty as far as my experience went. So I grew up really, really humble. Okay. And And because of that, and because I had low self-esteem, I feel like I gave my attention to people who, like, if you were out from on the outside looking in, you'd be like, well, why is she giving him attention, or why is she dating him? Like, what? And those dudes would know that. They would understand that, but I genuinely didn't know that. I remember I dated this guy when I was like 24, and he told me, he was like, I love that you're pretty, and you don't even know that you're pretty. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't understand what he was getting at, but basically the dude was trying to say, you too good for me, which now I understand later on after the fact. But people assume that you rest your entire worth and who you are as a person on your looks when you are pretty. So because I grew up not thinking that I was pretty, okay, I worked a lot harder than people who just believed that they had that sauce, okay? I learned other skills, okay? For example, you don't meet too many women who are pretty, who know how to cook and clean and just really are nurturing people, okay? I'm gonna say that for real. Most of the time, when I go around other women who are just as attractive or more attractive than me, majority of them feel like they should just get taken care of, okay? And it doesn't matter if they have bad character, bad hygiene, are unfriendly, have just bad attitude. They feel like because of the way that they look, that they deserve the most, and for people to run after them and for people to chase them. They are allowed to rest in their mediocrity as a person solely because they are attractive. And because majority of attractive people living their lives this way, majority of them rest in that, people automatically assume that when they meet me, that is the case. And they come at me the same way they would come at these other pretty people who they view need to be humbled. And maybe they do need to be humbled, okay? But I'm not that. I'm already humble, okay? A lot of them assume too that you're dealing with them because you feel like you're above them and that you're going to have the upper hand in the situation, which I'll say this. A lot of attractive people do that, including men. Okay, the same way that an attractive woman feels about herself, attractive men feel this way about themselves too. Hence why you rarely see two attractive people together, okay? Because it's a big ego play. So I've dated men who I would consider to be unattractive, and I've also dated men who were extremely attractive, okay? Two sides of the same coin when you were an attractive woman, okay? A lot of attractive women think I'm gonna go date a man who is less attractive than me, and he's gonna treat me better and worship the ground that I walk on. He might do that at first, but there is a flip side to that, okay? That man also is probably more likely to lay hands on you and try to break your character down, break your self-esteem down, because he hates the fact that he feels less than you. And that people, when you're not around, tell him things like you're going to leave him. These are the conversations that people are having with him, okay? So you're not necessarily going to be treated better if you date down in the looks department. It's not that easy. If it was that easy, every attractive person would do that, and they'd have lasting relationships, and they'd be able to have their way in these relationships, and then go, it doesn't work like that, guys. It doesn't work like that. On the other side, if you're an attractive person and you date another attractive person, you might be dating an attractive person who is also used to dating somebody less attractive than them and getting treated as such. For example, I had a boyfriend who was attractive. Like, if y'all seen us together walking down the street, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, one wasn't more or less attractive than the other one. But he was used to dating women who were, I have no words for the way that these women looked. Okay. And because he was so attractive, and then these other women were, I have no words for it. He was used to having his way and being worshipped. So when we got into a relationship together and I was not as moved by his looks, or just not willing to do everything that these women were doing just off the strength that you're attractive, he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand it. And so he began to act like how an unattractive man acts after a while. You trying to bring me down. You're trying to talk down on me, trying to humble me, okay? Because you're not used to this level of confidence. Mind you, I wasn't treating him like he should worship the ground I walk on. It was more so of a, this has to be a give and a take, a fair exchange. I don't want the upper hand, but you dang sure ain't finna have the upper hand on me. So you gotta understand that when you are pretty, people are going to spend a significant amount of time in the relationship trying to get the upper hand over you so that they can feel secure that you're not gonna leave them, okay? Or so that they can feel like they're the ones who left you. Like, mind you, people are already like this regardless of looks. It's on steroids when you are pretty. And that is why you are more likely to see women who are average looking get married. Okay? And another thing too, like I was saying, another reason why you're more likely to see women who are average looking or even plain Janes. I consider myself, I don't consider myself like a bad chick. You know, I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, I'm not necessarily a plain Jane, but I'm not necessarily the bad chick. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the bad chicks. The long weaves and, you know, like, I don't consider myself to be that. But you're less likely to see those type of women get wiped up too, because they believe in their own hype and they don't bring anything else of value to the relationship. Okay, I don't fall into either one of these categories. Okay, I feel like I'm in some weird space somewhere in the middle, and I oftentimes am taking, just for no other reason than the way that I am taking a lot of the prejudice, a lot of the misconceptions, and a lot of the projecting that people do, okay, when they've had bad experiences with other people who might look similar to you. So that is a lot of the reason why I'm single. Okay, it's not that easy, guys, and I've accepted the situation for what it is. I ain't really doing no tripping, but you know, it is a difficult dynamic to navigate. I'll be for real about that. But guys, this is good. I'm gonna finish my drink and get on in this kitchen because baby, I'm hungry. Y'all have a good night.